Hello and welcome to this video, which is all just going to be about the VS Code extension slash plugin that I built to help with scripting in Sonic 3.air using these Lemon script files. Now, if you want to get hold of this extension, you can just click on the extensions button and search for S3Air. And you should find the one here that's by Glentifer. That's me. That's this extension right here. You install it, and here it is. So I'll just talk through the features as I think about them. Here is a mod that I've been making, which is a little guy that follows you around. He's called Little Guy, and you can see straight away we've got syntax highlighting to an extent. We've got coloring. It recognizes constant, function, and things like that. And it also has some IntelliSense as well built in. So if I'm at a non-embedded point in my code with no functions and I start writing function, it will suggest writing function. I also have that built in for constant, for global. So we can say I want a function. And then also the types are built in as well. So if I start writing types, you can see we have IntelliSense for the types. Sprite handle I've also built as a type. I'll explain why in a sec. So let's just call it new function or nef or whatever, we'll call it that. If I save the file here, you'll see that it formatted and took these braces and it moved them onto their own lines. That's because of a format that I built in, because Lemon with Sonic 3.air doesn't like to have these braces on other lines, so you'll get it formatted for you. So why did sprite handle exist as a function here? So let's I'll show you why. So let's do a sprite handle, call it sprite SPR. And we don't actually have to fill it in because it's not that bright of a compiler, but we can do well, let's just do this. It doesn't matter. But now if I write SPR, I can use any of the functions from sprite handle. So we've got palette offset, palette flags. They're available here to call just because it recognizes that SPR is a sprite. Obviously that's not the perfect implementation of this, but it works for what I want. So we do string s equals s. We can see as well that string functions work here as well, ends with find, get character, etc. So we can get auto completing on those. Additionally, it does tell you some information about it. It does tell you this returns a Boolean here. So that's pretty good. What else does it do? So if we start to write things like math, you can see we have all of the suggested math possible functions here. We can do we essentially get this filled in for lots of the functions that are defined in it, for the Lemon functions that are defined in the, actually I don't know what they are. It's just a bunch of common Lemon functions. Additionally, if we do something like char, we get the options here for the different properties that are essentially pointers to char in memory. Things like invol countdown. We have flags to be, we have bonus.speed up. We have all of these things. So similarly for object AO, is that right? Yeah, object AO, we can do dot and we get the animation frame, box size, etc., etc. So we can get these things completed for us if we need them, which is pretty cool for me. It helps me out. I know I kind of need something and I can search for it. Additionally, we have the ability to validate whether we are correctly overriding something from the base game. Now, nothing in here actually does that. This is all my own object, so I can't show you it here. But if we go into the main, you'll see that we're hooking into initialized game characters. And in here, if I hover over it, it will show you that the base file is main game.lemon, and the line is 1957, so it shows you where that is in the base files. It also has a little tick here to show you that this address hook is correct, and this is something that is present in the base game. If I remove that address there, we get a yellow underline. and it will tell us that it's missing a directive. We can click quick fix, add directive, and it will add it in. Additionally, if we right click, we can click on add base hook function, and we get a bunch of options in here, and we can search. So let's look for rolling in, and we get Sonic rolling in air. Click this, and it pops in a function already made for us. Update Sonic rolling in air, the address hook, and a base call. So we can search and add those in quickly. What else do we get? So if we go in back into our little guy thing, you can see that I've implemented a crude but an outline. So this outline is showing us all of our constants and our methods that are inside this file. And I find this very useful because what I like to do is give them a kind of a little namespace. So my object has a spawn, it has an update and a draw. These are the things that are called from outside of the object. The draw and update functions are part of my object utils, which I'm going to make a video on if you want to use that. It's a way that I've written to create objects where you can essentially give it a name, create the correct functions, and my background code will hook those in and run the updates and things for you. So that is that's going to be available on GitHub, and you can check that out. But what I've done here is, what I've done here is I've named my functions with a dot in them. So little guy dot enter angry, for instance. And what the outline does is it takes this dot and it says, okay, well then it's a namespace called little guy try. And with that little guy try, it's now collected in a namespace called little guy try, and there's all the functions. So try enter showboat, try enter hurt. All of these functions are prefixed with this. And so when I look in the outline, they're collected together. So I have my behavior, my helpers, and my attempted changes of behavior grouped up separately. My helpers, there's a lot of set mode, get mode, all these things. They're just grouped under helper. But you can jump to those by selecting things in here. Additionally, anything in the outline is also available for our IntelliSense. So let's just go in this line here. If I start writing little guy, you can see here we have little guy behavior and the functions under little guy behavior. So I can do little guy.be be proud. If I click on that, it will put in little guy.be proud. So we can sort of autocomplete some of our code from within our function. The autocomplete also lets you not autocomplete, but scanning functions also lets you jump to them. So little guy.enter angry. If I hold down Control, I can actually click on this and it will take me to enter angry. That works across files. So if I'm in here and I click on spawn, that will take me to the spawn function in this file here. It does that by string matching. So honestly, if you have multiple things with the same name, it'll be hard to find. The way that I tend to name all my stuff is prefix of my name. It's not because I'm big-headed, it's because I find that I do it because I want things to try to be portable and compatible. So if I name things something that no one else is going to name something, then I feel like that is helping me to not collide with somebody else's mods. That I think pretty much covers most of the functionality that I've got in here. I mean, there's some details about formatting and things that you'll find helpful, but yeah, broadly it's adding in hooks, warning you if you haven't put the right hooks into a function that's named in the base code, giving you an outline, some context sensitive IntelliSense, and coloring in and formatting of code. So yeah, I hope this has been useful for you. If you do find it useful, give me a comment, let me know. And yeah, check out some other videos on Sonic 3 scripting if you're interested. And thank you very much for watching.